Mount Holyoke College welcoming Women's March organizers to speak at the school's Women of Color Trailblazers Leadership Conference. But our next guest, a Republican student who was actually there, says the event amounted to a one-way discussion, writing in a new op-ed, quote, "I prefer to ask tough questions. This event only allowed scripted ones because the Women's March founders knew they couldn't defend their ugly and radical ideas." Joining me now is the student behind that op-ed and senior at Mount Holyoke College, Kassy Dillon. Kassy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So why did you go and why did you write the op-ed?
Well, as the college Republican president at Mount Holyoke, I thought it was a great event to go to. These women are very controversial and not really liked in the right-wing politics, so I really wanted to hear what they had to say. As a conservative student, I'm not afraid to hear opinions that are different than mine. And I really wanted to go and ask some tough questions because I think that's great for dialogue and discussion. And when I walked into the building and I was forbidden from doing so, I was shocked. I couldn't believe my university wouldn't allow us to engage in conversation. Isn't that what higher education is for?
So what happened? Tell us what happened inside the room. You did pre-submit some questions and you wanted to be called on and they didn't choose your question?
Yes, they didn't choose my question, but when I first walked into the building, there was no recording, no taking pictures, no anything like that, and you had to submit the questions ahead of time, which I thought was crazy.
So it's
these
not
women
really a
are
discussion.
Community organizers. Exactly. If these community organizers, why are they afraid of taking questions from college students in the community that they're visiting? They should have been okay with it. When you have conservative speakers coming on campus, they oftentimes get shut down by liberal students, and the only time they're ever invited is when conservative student groups invite them. I thought it would be a great time to have a discussion, and clearly they weren't up for it.
Well, we did get a statement from the school. They said, when our students have the opportunity to engage with political figures who hold views other than their own and to critically express their opinions, we have achieved our mission to prepare students through a liberal education, integrating curriculum and careers for lives of thoughtful, effective, and purposeful engagement in the world. What are your thoughts?
Well, clearly that didn't happen. We weren't allowed to talk to these speakers about what they believe. They've had a lot of controversies surrounding them lately. They've been aligning themselves as anti-Semites. They've been coming out in support of back pages, which just pleaded guilty to trafficking women. And so I think it's really insane that we weren't allowed to engage in conversation. And the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform reports of this all the time. This is not unique to my university. At first, you have these conservative speakers coming onto stage and asking students who disagree with them to ask questions first. And I'm just so shocked these liberal students couldn't handle a question from a 22-year-old college student.
Kassy, thank you so much for being on with us.
Thank you for having me.